are two of the guys who worked on the game originally. So Andy's our lead artist, and one of the programmers on the team.
EVR is a prototype. We made it because we had Oculus Rift kits at CCP, and we had 20% time, and we were just really passionate about making a game for the Rift. We knew it was nice technology and it was something we wanted to do, so we just got together after work and started like pushing stuff together and started wrapping it into the EVE universe. And EVR was just born out of our passion for just making something a little bit different and trying the new hardware. And
we're all pretty excited about VR. So I mean, it was a case of we saw the Oculus Rift back in the Kickstarter like last year, and we were like, we've got to have some of these. Spoke to managers stuff. They ordered them in, and it was a while before we heard anything back. And then all of a sudden, kits arrived, and we're bouncing ideas and stuff. And it's like, well, what do we want to do with the game? How do we want to go about it? And we sat and we brainstormed. And it was like, okay, let's just stick to what we know. Let's make something in the EVE universe. Let's make it some kind of like dogfighting game, like a multiplayer game, shoot it out and see what we could do with it. It took us about 7 weeks, I think, to create this in our spare time, and using our 20% time, which is like at CCP we have a thing where basically 1/5 of our work time can be spent on projects still integral to CCP, but what we think is really cool. So lots of internal.
The time we started it. It came together quite quickly through the rapid prototyping, and we had FanFest approaching, which is the EVE Online's player gathering in Reykjavik. So we started to think maybe we could get this together, and actually show and let players sit down and have a go at this at FanFest. And that's where the 6-week time frame came in. We just went out, just hammered it and made sure it got out there all night, every night, making art and programming through the night and stuff, just to make sure those guys got a game at FanFest.
Well, I have to say, this is my second time with Oculus Rift. We literally just had a quick go with it, and one of the prototypes at IndieCade in the other hole, in the south hole. That was really just a small interactive experience, but something like this, blown away. I mean, as a more proper experience, just be able to look around and really find where the enemies are. So you're looking over your shoulder, you're like looking up, and then you can spin around in your fighter jet.
Sure.
I mean, for those who maybe don't know or haven't seen it in action, haven't used Oculus Rift, what from your experiences would you be able to say about the experience of being in that cockpit, in that space?
I mean, it's immersive. It's different. You're not playing from the perspective of someone watching a game. You're playing from the perspective of someone in the game, and that's why we decided to design something from the ground up, rather than try and shoehorn it into like another piece of EVE. We wanted to make something quite individual and really use the hardware to its biggest advantages, and that is this kind of more personal approach to it, rather than seeing it on the flat 2D screen. You really kind of live and breathe as the pilot.
It's all about getting people immersed in the world. I mean, as long as that person, can't hear anything outside, they're just got the whole vision, taken up by this. People start to believe they're in the game. We had you played the game, so like at the beginning, like your hands are kind of like out on your. You look down and see your torso and your body, and it's like some people like looking around like this, and then they go to lift their hand up and realize that their hand wasn't being lifted in the game, and they were kind of like, whoa, what's going on? Because they felt like that was their own physical character. And it's really interesting how do people react differently to VR.
It's a strong experience, I think.
The types come out of that time.
FanFest, we had a 12-on-12 game, which was up on a stage. Oh, sorry, 6-on-6. I'm talking about 12 player 6-on-6. Yeah, so there was 12 people up on a stage. So the people who were queuing in front were going, oh, look at those guys, because they're looking around and their mouths are open and they're all. And then they go up on stage and they put the earphones on and they get in the game, and they're exactly the same. Because when you put the earphones on and you put the Rift on, you're in the EVE universe, you're in that world, and the whole thing happening outside just means, it just slips away.
It's great to find your passion about the project, and it's just fantastic to sit down in that seat and experience it.
And we're just really glad you like it. We never imagined when we started tinkering with this, like a couple of months back, that we'd be coming out to E3 and talking to people about it and having all this love for it, man. So we're just over the moon, man. We're so thrilled.
No, it's just really fun. And I've been looking forward to the Oculus Rift a lot, and this experience experiences really propels it as a device that I think should be used in a lot of things. But this demo, it's amazing. It really just pulls you into that thing, because you're just like, oh my god, I'm in this, I'm in space and I'm in this fighter jet, and
it's incredible how people try and experience it in different ways. Like when we did an early playtest, we had someone who, instead of going into the fight, just turned around and flew over the carrier to try and recreate the trench scene from Star Wars, and that was the way they wanted to play it, and they just went and did that, and we were like, you didn't do the fight. But he was like, but I loved that. That was great. I was a space pilot, and that's what I wanted to be. And he felt like he was really in it, and that's an awesome thing to be able to deliver to people.